Should have brought tissue. Um, no, Trey honestly changed our life for the better and has made me a better person. He's the strongest person, even though he only lived to 4 months I've ever met or encountered. And he had this inner peace. And he was actually an easier baby, even though he has some medical issues than Lola, who is such a joy and such a uh she has such a strong personality, but he was just like peace. When he was first born and they brought him up to me because I had a C-section, and he just looked at me and it was just like I literally had this like sense of peace. And when I was pregnant, I didn't share it because we had had a miscarriage not that long before that, had a bunch of testing and stuff. And so very few people knew. I actually miscarried on our anniversary. So it was really a lot. And when we got pregnant with Trey, I was like, I don't want to tell anybody till we're like past the first trimester. And so everything had looked good. I had lots of early ultrasounds, lots of early testing with him. And then we happened to get genetic testing done because I literally had money left over at the end of the year in my flexible spending account. So it was like, oh, why not? And then we found out that he had trisomy 18 in between Christmas and New Year's. And we had just told a lot of our family that we were
And
expecting.
that's something that comes from genetics or just like a random
It's
thing.
a random thing. So the most common version, trisomy means you have 3 copies of a chromosome instead of 2. And so the most common trisomy is trisomy 21, which is Down syndrome. Trisomy 18 is the second most common. Um, and so that's what Trey had. And then trisomy 13 and then 9. But you can have 3 copies of any chromosome. Um, and so most often it's not a genetic like passed on. It is related to your genes, but when the egg and sperm come together and it's duplicating everything instead of just making one copy, it makes two or sometimes or sorry, for a total of 3. Um, Sometimes it'll make just part of it. So that's partial trisomy. So maybe you can have partial trisomy 18 where you have 2 full chromosome 18 and then part of another one. Um, that's very rare. And then there's mosaic as well. But the most common is when it's just like a copying error. So instead of making one copy, it makes 2 and you have 3 total chromosomes. And it's not something that's genetics, it's random chance.